Students, I once again welcome all of you. In this video, we are going to discuss Dalton's atomic theory. John Dalton was an English school teacher, a physicist, and a chemist. He based his theory of matter on the laws of chemical combination. In fact, his atomic theory of matter in 1803 turned out to be a watershed development in understanding the composition of matter. Let us quickly come to the postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. There are 6 postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. Number 1 is all matter is made up of very tiny particles called atoms. Atoms are indivisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Atoms of a given element are identical in mass and chemical properties. Atoms of different elements have different masses and chemical properties. Atoms combine in a ratio of small whole numbers to form compounds. The relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. Let us discuss all the postulates one by one. The very first postulate is all matter is made up of very tiny particles called atoms. That means the whole matter that we see around is made up of very extremely small particles that are not visible to the naked eye. Those tiny particles are extremely small particles of matter are called atoms. For example, you see in a chemical reaction element A and B combine to give compound C. That means A and B are the reactants and the compound C that we get in the bargain is the product. Both the elements A and B and even the compound C will be made up of small particles called atoms. So, the fundamental unit of matter as per Dalton's atomic theory is the atoms. The second postulate is atoms are indivisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. That means we cannot create or destroy atoms in a chemical reaction. For example, you see element A and B are combining to form a compound C. There would be no formation of any new atom or no atom in the element A, in the element B, or even in the product, that is the compound C. No atom will be destroyed. It means that no new atoms are formed, no atom is destroyed. Although we are getting a different compound, that is C, we are getting a different product by the chemical reaction of A and B, but no new atoms are formed, no atom is destroyed. That means atoms are neither destroyed nor created in a chemical reaction. The third postulate is atoms of a given element are identical in mass and chemical properties. You see, we have an element A, all the atoms which form this particular element A, they would be having same mass as well as chemical properties. For example, if we take example of carbon or oxygen, the carbon element would be formed of the same atoms or the similar atoms, similar carbon atoms, and they will be having same properties, they will be behaving in a similar fashion during a chemical reaction. Similarly, when we talk of oxygen, all the atoms forming oxygen would be having same properties. So, atoms of a given element are identical in mass, that means they have similar mass and similar chemical properties. Similarly, for example, the mass of nitrogen is 14. It would not be the case of only single nitrogen atom, but all the nitrogen atoms in all the chemical reactions will be having mass of 14 and in case of oxygen it is 16. So all the atoms would be having a mass of 16. Next postulate is atoms of different elements have different masses and chemical properties. This is very much relevant to the previous one, that is element A will be having a particular composition, that means a particular group of atoms will be forming this element A. Similarly, in case of element B, the atoms will be similar to each other, but they will not be similar to the atoms that form element A. So the atoms in the element A are different from the atoms in the element B, at least in terms of mass and chemical properties. So both of these atoms which form element A and the atoms which form element B, they will be behaving in a different fashion in chemical reactions, and they would be having different masses. So this is the postulate. The next postulate is atoms combine in a ratio of small whole numbers to form compounds. For example, element A is combining with element B. You see in this particular compound, we see two atoms of element A and one atom of element B are combining to form this particular compound. So what does that mean? That means they are combining in a ratio of small whole numbers. For example, they are combining in ratio of 2, they are combining in ratio of 1. You will never see that atoms will combine. For example, the atoms of element A, half the atom of element A and 1/4 of the atom of element B will be combining. It will never be the case. Or 1.5 of element A will combine with two atoms of element B. It will never be the case. It will always be in small whole numbers. You will get it more clearer here. In case of water, you see in case of water H2O, two hydrogen atoms are combining with one oxygen atom. So two hydrogen atoms plus one oxygen atom are combining to form a water molecule. Similarly, in case of carbon dioxide, one atom of carbon and two oxygen of atoms are combining. So the ratio is 1:2. Here the ratio is 2:1. Similarly, in case of ozone, it would be 3 oxygen atoms. In case of ammonia, it would be 1 nitrogen atom and 3 oxygen atoms. So the ratio would be 1:3. So the atoms always combine in small whole numbers, not in the fractions. The next postulate is the relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. So what does that mean? That means the number of atoms is always constant. For example, water will always be formed of H2O with one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. That means 2:1 is the ratio, irrespective of the source of water. Similarly, in case of carbon dioxide or CO2, the ratio of carbon to oxygen would always be 1:2. So what does that mean? That means the relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. So this is all about the 6 postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. I hope that you have understood all the 6 postulates. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.